Hello everyone. Unfortunately I'm unable to join you this year for Synod, but nonetheless I've been given the opportunity to share a little with you about what's been going on in and around the diocese when it comes to our Aboriginal ministry. When I first took on the position as the Aboriginal Community Support Officer, I could never have imagined for it to grow in the areas the way that it did. My initial vision was Bendigo based, but I guess some of our best laid plans don't always go the way that we plan. Thank you to St Paul's Cathedral for the invitation to preach on May 26 of 2022 at the National Sorry Day Evensong. It's very important for us to come together and to recognise these days of remembrance and to acknowledge the past injustices that occurred to our people. It's part of the truth-telling process, and I thank Dean Elizabeth for taking the opportunity, for taking the step towards our journey towards reconciliation here in the Bendigo Diocese. We've had several parishes across the diocese reach out, and I've had the pleasure of travelling out to Mildura, St Arnaud, Kahuna, Kangaroo Flat and Robinvale, where relationships have started to develop. I've actually travelled out to Mildura several times to meet with Father Joe, Father Keith and their ministry team. I would have to say that a highlight for me was being taken out to the remains of the old Yalta mission that was established by the Church of England in 1855. It was a short-lived mission established for the local tribe with its closure in 1868. It was a heartwarming experience to see so many of the local congregation braving the cold, overcast day. I cannot commend the Murray Valley District enough for the continued outreach for the Aboriginal communities they are involved in. While the process has been slow, I have no doubt you will, with God's grace, reach beyond the present day barriers and will one day see our ministry come into full fruition out in the valley. During the year I've had the chance to catch up with an ex-colleague, Reverend Canon Glenn Lockery. After a chat with Glenn and sharing about the ministry of providing across the Murray Valley, he kindly offered the assistance of St Oswald's in Glen Iris. With the help of St Oswald's, we were able to make a trip out to Robinvale with a very sizable donation of non-perishable foods, along with fresh fruit and vegetables to be distributed among the local Aboriginal families in Robinvale and Euston, specifically amongst their elders who have been doing it tough since the floods. I was given the chance to visit several parishes during NAIDOC 2022. Huge thank you to St Arnaud, Kahuna, Kangaroo Flat for reaching out and extending the invitation to attend and celebrate with you. Being given the opportunity to share with your people and to initiate dialogue for further engagements, which are currently in the process of happening a little later on the year back out at Kahuna. I cannot encourage you enough to reach out and to organise a visit to your parish. I may even bring a pot of kangaroo stew with me. From our NAIDOC parish visits, we were able to gather a couple of ladies who've come to their Aboriginality later in life. Afternoon teas have been called and the ladies are able to come together. This gave them the opportunity to meet each other in a safe place and share their collective pain and frustrations. Back at our hub here in Bendigo at St Mark's Golden Square, we kicked off our mums and bubs. This happened quite swiftly and we quickly had 4 young ones attending until the cold flu season kicked in, and then we paused over the December break. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to gain the same amount of momentum, but we are getting ready with a relaunch in the not too distant future. One of the highlights, I would have to say, was being invited to the National Bishops meeting back in March, being given the opportunity to share my own personal journey. This proved to be a wonderful encouragement for me in my own ministry here in Bendigo in how we move forward in our specific ministry outreach to the local Judgerung. It has been very encouraging this past 12 months, especially with the level of engagement at different local events. I was honoured to be joined by Bishop Matt at the National Day of Mourning for the death of young Cassius Turvey. It was a very significant moment, a crucial moment for the Church, with the Bishop's presence among our people. Bishop Matt met our people, and he chose to sit in the dirt and weep with us during our mourning. Djadjarang and Bendigo Health teamed up and organised a baby welcome to country for those babies who were born in Djadjarang but belonged to another country. My granddaughter Mackenzie was one of those babies born on country but is from off country. Once again, to extend my gratitude to Tracy and Rachel Brain, who joined my family at the smoking ceremony welcome and presentation. Thank you to Father Ian for the invites to join you out at Castlemaine for Evensong. I feel privileged to have been invited and to speak at these events and given the opportunity to share. As the year progresses, we have a few new ideas in the mix, and I'm looking forward to putting some of these plans into action over the next 12 months. So I'd like to extend my personal thank you to you all for your friendship and your support. Keep praying for us, and may God continue to bless you all.